Um,
Um, but yeah, like I said, otherwise, this would be a great game to watch. But like I said, I got the Bears money line and Cole Kmet's over
if I get
after
one of
his.
those, if I get one of those boosts, like anytime touchdown boost on like BetMGM or whatever, it's going to be Kyron Williams.
Sure.
He's scored in 6 straight regular season games in a row. He's led the NFL in red zone carries. He's got 17 red zone carries. He's got 7 goal line carries and 4 goal line touchdowns this year.
Okay. Hell yeah.
And the Bears are allowing 4.6 yards per carry to running backs. As you know, Ryan, because you watch the Bears' run defense is fucking great in the first half, and then in the second half, they just get gashed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, them it's mostly because they're always playing from behind. But yeah.
And so, if the Rams, which are like I said, 29th in pass rate over expected since they started losing receivers, I think this is a game where Kyron could get 25 touches. So
Yeah. I believe so too, especially if they're. It's a pretty close game. Yeah. I don't
yeah,
think the Rams. I mean, I think there's more of a chance that the Bears are going to be playing ahead than the Rams will be playing ahead. Um, but yeah, if it's close, he's going to get a shitload of touches.
well, Vegas is telling you that it's a field goal in either direction, and the point total's around 40. So
Right. Yeah.
like you would imagine that this game is most likely going to hang around a one score game if Vegas is right, which they usually are.
Yeah, that's true. It'll probably be within a touchdown. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's move on. New Orleans going to Atlanta. We have questionable Alvin Kamara, questionable Chris Olave. Atlanta are home favorites, minus 140 money line on Profit X. A New Orleans road win plus 130 on BetMGM. The line is between 2.5 and 3, and the total is between 40.5 and 41. I have nothing in this game. So Ryan,
Let's
what do you want to
see.
talk about?
I'm looking at Waleed. Waleed doesn't have anything in this game.
Yeah,
What's going
Bijan.
on? Oh
I think
shit,
he's got
yeah, he does.
Bijan.
Yeah, yeah, he does have Bijan. He took his alternate line over 80 yards at plus 138 on FanDuel.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, he's
No, you're
got
good.
Bijan. Um, and then what's going on with Kamara? What's he dealing?
Hamstring, I think.
Ooh, that's not good.
Or no, is a
Because I
rib?
was
It might be a rib.
because I was looking earlier, and I know Kamara hasn't been like the reception train that he was like last year, but his line's only at 3.5 receptions right now. So if he does play, I might go in and bet that. It's I don't really know what to expect from this game after the way Derek Carr looked last week. He started the first 2 weeks really great. Um, it's how is Atlanta's defense? What do they mostly play? Do you know?
Atlanta's Atlanta's middle of the pack right now.
Okay. They play, do you know if they play a lot of man or is it
No,
zone?
they're a cover three. Atlanta runs
Okay,
cover
so
three at their
zone.
highest rate, so 43%. Chris Olave is an elite cover three beater. Dude, he's run 22 routes against cover three this year, and he averages 4.35 yards per route run.
Great. He's
So
also another
even when he's not targeted.
he's also another player that's questionable with a hamstring issue.
Yeah.
But hopefully he should be all right. He's still pretty young. I will say that this is the first time in 12 meetings. Yeah, Saints have been favored in 11 straight meetings. This is the first time the Falcons have um, been favored since week 3 of 2018. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I
Um,
I also don't have a ton of like it's a divisional game. Each team has looked pretty like
yeah,
range of outcomes is pretty wide for both of these two teams. They both looked lost and they've both looked dominant so far this year.
sure.
So like I want really nothing to do with any sort of money line, overs unders, or even outright
You know what?
spread betting.
Just because I'm a big Derek Carr lover, I might be bold and go in and put a Falcons money line down at plus 126 on FanDuel right now.
But I'll
But yeah,
tell you what,
like you said, this is going to be a really close game. It's a divisional game. I kind of leaning towards the under just because it's a crazy divisional game, but we'll see. And Saints defense has been pretty good, at least against the run.
I will say this, if you're one of the type of people to like max enter smaller tournaments on your DFS sites, New Orleans might be a really fun stack because I think nobody's going to be on it.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Like
What, you
it,
talking like doing cars passing or like Shahid or Olave
I
overs
would
or
say no. I would say like if I'm doing a DFS, like a multi-entry
oh
tournament,
DFS. Sure, sure.
I would probably throw in like an Olave car, and then honestly, low key, I might even throw in a little cheap Darnell Mooney.
Oh yeah, he's kind of been hot.
Do you know that Darnell Mooney leads the team in percentage of routes run, 91%?
That's crazy.
And you got to imagine Drake London is going to be on Marshawn Lattimore, which means Mooney's going to be
Yeah,
drawing second
good
defender.
point. Yeah,
So
great point.
Mooney's got like his lines, his receiving lines I pulled up on the screen are at like 38, 39. So if you want to get freaky with it, go with Darnell Mooney,
Oh,
but like I
yeah,
really struggle to put serious money on uh role players exceeding their roles. I want to see like the
true.
best dudes do the best shit.
Yeah, yeah.
All
I'm
right.
still writing it down. I might go look at it later.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a
Uh,
buck or two. All
right.
right, so next up, we got the spiraling Jags going to Houston. Damian Pierce is out. Joe Mixon questionable. Tank Dell's out. Evan Ingram's out. Houston are home favorites. You can get it minus 253 on Profit X. Jacksonville upsets. Best line is plus 225 on ESPN. Spread is somewhere between 6.5 and 5.5, and the total is 44.5. Ryan, why don't you start us off? Does Waleed have anything?
Yeah. I am all over this game. Waleed has he's got Nico over his 85.5. That's on DraftKings. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the only thing. That's the only thing he has from this game.
Okay.
Um, I've got the Houston money line in both of my parlays. Um, I have Stroud's over 1.5 passing touchdowns as one of my top five bets of the week. I've also got Brian Thomas Jr. Over 3.5 receptions. He had like 10 targets and I think 6 catches last week.
Okay.
Um, I think 3.5 receptions is easy, especially if we expect Jacksonville to be playing from behind just like they were last game.
Okay.
Um, I also alternate Stroud 3+ pass touchdowns. This was one of my bold predictions on TH Fantasy last night, and
Which
so
you
that's
should
going to be my
download and listen to.
yes. That's going to be my millionaire bet this week, and I'm rolling right now. So I've got my millionaire bet 3 weeks in a row.
Yep.
So I've parlayed that into $66.50, betting 2 weeks I did Josh Allen's rushing over, and I did a Brian Robinson yardage over in like week two. So I've turned $10 with those 3 weeks in a row, $66. But I'm being bold this week, and I'm taking that $66 and putting it on plus 270 bet for Stroud to do 3+ touchdowns to get me almost 250 bucks if that cashes. Um, the Jaguars are looking horrible in terms of defense and offense.
Yeah.
The only shining light in their offense is BTJ, and if you've been listening to us, he's one of my flag plant guys this year. He was my bold prediction for breakout rookie, and he has not disappointed yet, even
It's true.
though he's playing in on an 0-3 team.
Yep.
Um, I will say, I pointed out earlier to Tony, the Texans are 6-1 outright, and 5-2 against the spread after a loss under Ryan's as coach. They're also 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 games following a loss. Um, let's see, what else did I have in this? Oh, yeah, the Jaguars, they're one of the reasons Houston's gonna have a commanding lead in this, and I think it's gonna be CJ Stroud. Um, welcome to the 2024 season breakout after his mediocrity start to the year.
Okay.
The Jaguars, one of the worst defenses. They've
Yes.
also are the only team to not force a turnover this year. That's pretty bad.
Yep.
Um, also, let's see.
Fantasy quarterback finish in every week of this season. Um, Jacksonville leads the league in man coverage, and guess who beats the shit out of man coverage? That's Nico Collins, my friends.
Oh yeah,
Um, Collins's route participation is up 9% compared to last year. and only Tyreek Hill has more fantasy points earned per route since the start of 2023. So a year and 4 games. Nico third in yards per route run against cover one. Collins is eighth in yards after catch among all pass catchers this year. He has 112 yards after the catch. Jacksonville has allowed 516 yards after the catch this year. So Nico Collins over 80.5 receiving yards is one of my top 5 bets of the week, and I will not apologize. Let's go to the next game. Minnesota at Green Bay, an NFC North rivalry. Green Bay home favorites here. I'm assuming that means they think Jordan Love is going to play. Um, Green Bay money line, your best odds are minus 143 on Bet Rivers. Best Minnesota upset plus 130 on Profit X. The spread is somewhere between 2.5 and 3, and I see wide point totals. FanDuel has it minus 105 to go over 39.5. That's pretty spicy, by the
Yeah,
way. If Jordan Love is playing, that's spicy.
yeah, right.
All
Um,
right.
I
So we
don't
got.
know if I don't know if we lost the feed, but I don't think we're live anymore.
That's okay.
But
Just
we'll
we're still
find out.
talking about baby.
Um, let's see. All right. So from this game, I don't think Waleed has anything. No, he does not have anything. One of my top five bets of the week is also one of Tony's. Aaron Jones revenge game. I got it on FanDuel at 58.5. I think Tony got it at 57.5. Yeah, Tony got it on BetMGM.
Sure did.
Um, I like the Aaron Jones revenge narrative for this game. Um, this this is either going to be one of the greatest NFC matchups probably this season, or it's going to be a horrible game. We'll find out. I don't, other than Aaron Jones rushing, I'm not too confident in a lot of other stuff. So that's really all I have from this game.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I'm way in on Aaron Jones uh, getting his shit. Okay, so Jeff, we are still on YouTube. Jeff commented, "Hi Jeff." Um.
Okay.
So Aaron Jones, huge play, 57.5 yards rushing. I'm all about it. He has got 94 or more rushing yards in 7 of his last 8 games. He averages the most yards after contact per attempt in the league this year. He has over 100 combined yards in 7 of his last 8. I love the Aaron Jones revenge game. So his over at 56.5 rushing is one of my top 5 bets of the week. I fucking love it. I think this is going to be Aaron Jones is going to go for, they were saying on the Football Absurdity podcast, like 100 combined yards and a touch, probably. I think that's about right.
Yeah, I like that too.
One of the things that I'm learning, and we'll just talk meta real quick here for a minute. One of the best things that you can do as a gambler, as a fantasy football player, as an analyst is develop a thick skin to being like, well, I was wrong with what I thought going into the season. It's now time to capitalize on the new knowledge that I have. And Aaron Jones is a guy I was not high on, but I'm all
Sure.
about it. I'm all about it. I have him in
Um,
prize picks, I have him everywhere.
yeah, I think the betting public agrees too, as I'm just checking the lines now, and Aaron Jones on FanDuel has gone up to 59.5. So that tells me a lot of people are betting that. Um,
As he
you know
should.
what? Maybe Jaden Reed.
If
I kind
Jaden
of
Reed
like his
if
line.
if Jordan Love plays, that Jaden Reed line is going to go up.
Right. Well, it's at 50.5 right now. Yeah.
Okay. I will
Um,
say the Vikings love to blitz, and when Jordan Love is blitzed, Jaden Reed has a 27.3% target
I
share.
mean, I think at least on FanDuel, I think they're thinking he's going to play because they have a passing line for him in the 233. So it's looking like he's going to play.
Then Jaden Reed is definitely in play for me.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Jalen Warren out. Everything sucks. Pittsburgh are road favorites minus 130 money line. Indianapolis plus 118 for a home win. Spread is 2.5. Or sorry, the odds it's 2.5 either way, and the total points 40.5. Ryan, got anything in this game?
Honestly, I I don't I don't think I believe that Justin Fields will start the season 4-0, even though Pittsburgh's defense is good and Indy hasn't looked that good.
Oh, the Indy
Um,
upset, huh? Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, they're plus 114, so they're thinking it's going to be a close game. I might be inclined to go in and bet an Indy money line. Um, let's see. I do. Oh, I did like Harris this week, at least for DFS.
Oh yeah, he's
Let's
getting
see.
a
Yeah,
ton of
he's
work.
wow, his line's at 64 and a half for someone that averages only like 2 or 3 yards a carry. That's pretty high.
80 carries.
Yeah, right.
Do you know that he's had 17 or more carries in every game so far this year? The Colts allow the second most yards after contact this year. If Najee's going to have a blow up game, it's got to be this week.
Right. I also think it's funny that they're posting a line for Moelle Cox at 6.5 yards.
Smash that
I might
under.
I might just bet that for fun. Hell yeah.
Um,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, I don't have too much in this game, but it could be interesting. I think I might take an indie win in this.
If you want to get weird, I actually like the Michael Pittman under in this game.
Under. Wow, okay.
And it's not high. It's not like people have like a massive belief. So Waleed, I think, has George Pickens overs. He loves Pickens overs this week. And
Okay.
Pickens is a beast. And if there's we're still waiting for that eruption week, and it could be anytime soon. Um, but look at if you're looking at Pittman's lines right here, he's 45, 46. If you can get up to 46 and a half on Bet Rivers, I love that. He's not gone over 4 catches, 36 yards, or 7.6 fantasy points this
Right.
season. And he's facing Joey Porter Jr., who does shadow coverage. Let me tell you what Joey Porter's done this year. Combined against Quentin Johnston, whatever. Cortland Sutton, also whatever. Drake London, not whatever. Combined, he's allowed 3 catches for 34 yards against those guys.
Wow.
And Anthony Richardson's not throwing accurate passes, by the way.
Okay.
He is Anthony Richardson is league worst in completion and percentage. He is league worst in adjusted completion percentage, catchable throw percentage, and completion rate over expectation.
Okay.
He's I just picked him up in our big money league off free agency because Jared Goff's not doing anything for me. So next week when Richardson plays, I think Jacksonville, we'll rock. All right.
Um, Indy's defense does give up a lot of points to the run. So I might be inclined to go in and bet Najee's over and Fields over. I'm just reading now that has given up the second most rushing yards per game to opponents, 179.
Oh, we're not live.
Uh, yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't think we were.
Even though I think we might be. I don't know. Whatever. It looks weird.
I
I'm not even going to play with it anymore. We're just going
Yeah,
to make money.
right,
All right. So
right.
I don't have anything in this game.
It does say also that Fields, since entering the league in 2021, behind only Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Isn't that interesting? Fields actually has some stats to talk about.
Yeah. I got nothing in this game. So
All right.
let's move on. Let's go New England at San Francisco. San Francisco major favorites here. Minus 535 money line. You could also get them at plus 466 if you think New England's going to do the unimaginable. The spread is 10 and a half and the over under is 40 and a half. I have Dick all in this game. What do you got?
I don't have anything either. I'm probably going to bet the 49ers minus 10 and a half. But other than that, it's just, let's see, this is the first double digit spread of the season. And this is also the first season in the Super Bowl era that no team was favored by double digits in the first 3 weeks,
Wow.
right? Um, Ramadre's fumbled in every game so far this season. So not looking good for the Patriots. We know McCaffrey's still out. Um, Mason has been okay after that breakout game he had earlier in the year. Um, Ayuk, we saw his little tantrum after he was wearing those bad shorts. Uh,
God, I hate Kyle Shanahan so much.
yeah, I don't. This is going to be a major blowout. I don't. want to bet really anything on this game, I don't think.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't mind tying in like a Jordan Mason anytime touchdown to like a Demario Douglas over at like
Okay.
32 and a half receiving yards. Demario Douglas had a 37.5% target share last week. And
Interesting.
if San Francisco's up 2 touchdowns and they start playing off, like it's going to be check down city. Demario Douglas is their alpha. Like Polk Polk was like went up week 1 like 60, what is it? 62% route participation in week 1. 69% nice in week 2. Week 3 48.6.
Wow.
So if Demario Douglas is that dude, I wouldn't mind because I want a Jordan Mason touchdown. New England has allowed, there are 4 teams in the NFL that have allowed 4 top 24 running back finishes this season in fantasy. How many games have we played? Is it 3? Because that means if they've allowed 4 top 24 running back finishes, they've allowed 2 top 24 running backs in
Right.
the game.
On the same
So
team, yeah.
right. So Jordan Mason touchdown and a Demario Douglas receiving over, I think, is a play that I'm going to make at some point on one of these books.
Sure. Sure.
All right, let's move on to a game that I'm actually excited for. Washington at Arizona. This game, the Walker Kelly patented chaos meter could come into play here.
Yeah.
Um,
I- This
your
could be
best,
one of the most this could be one of the most exciting games I think on the slate this
but
week.
it could also be like, 17-7.
I hope not, but yeah.
Uh, my money hopes not. So we have a Cardinals home win minus 173 on the money line, plus 159 for a Washington upset. Spread is 3.5. Total 48 and four, between 48 and 49 and a half. So Ryan, what do we got, baby? Bear in mind, Trey McBride concussed out. Austin Eckler concussed out.
Right. So Waleed's got some stuff in this game. Waleed has he took Marvin Harrison's adjusted alternate over 80 yards at plus 130 on DraftKings. That's one of his top 5 bets of the week. He also did a same game parlay with Harrison's overs. He took an adjusted alternate over 110 yards. He also put that with his over 5.5 receptions. That makes sense. And then I'm guessing he wants a Marvin Harrison touchdown. He just wrote Marvin Harrison in the last line. I'm guessing that means touchdown. So he got plus 460 odds on that. So he put 10 units down to win $46. Well, it'd be 56. Let's see. I have a Marvin Harrison touchdown because he is him and he's gonna have an awesome game.
Nice.
And a Marvin Harrison touchdown is plus 100. At least it was last night.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still plus 100 on FanDuel right now. So even money for that. That's a straight win. Um, I've got yeah, that's all I have from this game.
Okay. I
Uh,
want to point out
um,
a couple things. Like I was telling you about New England's rush defense, Washington is the only team in football to allow 5 top 24 wide receiver weeks in fantasy this season.
sure.
5. And through 3 games. So 2 out of 3 times, two of their opposing wide
Right.
receivers are top 24 wide receivers.
Hell yeah.
Jamar Chase, 6 catches, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors, 10 catches, 127 and a touch. Chris Godwin, 8 for 83 and a touch. Mike Evans, 5 for 61 and 2 touchdowns. Uh, get shit on Washington secondary.
Right. It makes sense for Arizona to win this game. The spread is at 3.5, and the Commanders are 2-6 against the spread, and their past 7 games as underdogs. So I
They're
know
bad.
Washington's been rolling, but I think Arizona's just slightly better team in this matchup. And
Sure.
I love that Wally did all his Marvin Harrison stuff because I love him this week too.
I want to say my one of my top 5 bets of the week is a rushing total in this game, and it's James Conner over 66 and a half.
Oh hell yeah!
Washington's allowed 6.4 yards per carry on man or gap rushing concepts. James Conner has the second most of those types of carries. He's got 34 of them. And I brought this up on the podcast last night, so sorry to the six of you that watch this because you also listen to the pod, and I love you for it. Drew Petzig, the offensive coordinator for Arizona, has run an offense that's allowed a 12% stacked box rate. So most teams face a stacked defensive box 20% of the time. Arizona is 12th. So Connor is third among running backs in avoided tackle rate. He is going to crush. Washington allows the fifth most adjusted yards before contact per attempt. They've allowed 15 or more fantasy points to every running back they've faced this season. James Conner.
And while Tony was just discussing that, I went in and I put down a little small parlay if you guys are interested. I did a James Conner, a Marvin Harrison touchdown, and James Conner's rushing over. That gives you plus 455. I'm gonna lock that in later.
Um, G yards. Okay, cool. Also, if you want to get real weird with the DFS, Michael Wilson leads the team in receiving yards and targets last week. If Washington's that bad all over the place, there's a chance Michael Wilson's got some value. I don't really like Zach Ertz because Washington's good against tight ends. They're just bad against receivers. Um, the TH Fantasy DFS lineup has Connor and B Rob in it because we like Brian Robinson as well. Um, I had one more thing somewhere. Just play Marvin Harrison. Just fucking play him. He's great.
Right.
All right, let's move
Right.
on. All right, Kansas City at the Chargers. Justin Herbert potentially could be playing, could not be playing. We don't know. Um, so let's take a look here. The home Chargers. If you want the home Chargers to get an upset, you can get them at plus 305 on Fanatics. A Chiefs win on the money lines minus 340 on DK. Spread is 7. Total is between 39.5 and 40. Ryan?
Um, I don't think no, Wally doesn't have anything in this game.
Okay.
I really don't have too much in this game. I might go in and look at Sir Rasheed Rice props. It's at 74.5. That does seem high, but if you take in to account that Rasheed Rice has 24 receptions through 3 games, which by the way is the most through 3 games in Chiefs franchise history. Um, I might go in and look at his receiving yard or reception prop. His reception prop is actually at 7.5. It's plus money, but I just don't. This game could get blown out real fast, and Mahomes might not even play the second half. So I'm kind of staying away from this game.
Okay. One of my top five bets of the week is the Rashi Rice receiving over at 75.5. I don't fucking care.
Sure.
Um, let's see. So the Chargers are second to last in pressure rate this year. And over the past 2 seasons, Rashi Rice is second behind Tyreek in fantasy points per game when Mahomes is passing from a clean pocket. In each game this year, Rashi Rice has 5 or more receptions, 75 or more yards, and 17.3 fantasy points in every game. So I
Wow.
saw, 75 or more in every game. Okay, his line is 74.5. Makes sense. I'm in.
Right.
And I
Um.
want to, this is what I forgot. I want to just bring this up real quick because this is my last play for this
Okay.
game. Um, if you're like Jeff, who's listening in, and you're like a parlay picks type guy, or sleeper, or underdog, you can parlay on those websites. You can parlay fantasy points.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he'll get over 14 fantasy points or whatever. James Conner fantasy points, if you can get it around 15, I'm in. And Rashi Rice 17.3 fantasy points in each game this year. So play on players.
Sure. One last betting tidbit. Um, i- if you are adventurous enough to play the Chargers +7, just so you know, the Chargers have covered 7 straight games when getting at least 6 points, but they are playing the Chiefs, so be careful. Uh,
Yeah, for the Degenerates Gambit that I write for Football Absurdity, I took the under at 40 in this game.
I actually went down to 39.5 on FanDuel.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, that's effectively the same as 40. But
Right. Yeah.
also, Ryan, uh, Xavier Worthy, 2 catches, 17 yards in back to back games.
He's
Who's
cooked.
stupid now?
He's done.
He's done. Cut him.
And yeah, but I was telling Tony last night because he texted me about that during the week, and I was like, hold your roll, man. Let's not get the victory yet because they're playing the Chargers this week. And this could be the game where he gets like 2 touchdowns or something.
It's true.
But
All right, so let's move on. Cleveland at Las Vegas. Michael Mayer's out. Max Crosby's out. Cleveland are road favorites. You can get them at minus 130 on the money line at Bet Rivers. Profit X will give you plus 124 for a Vegas home upset. The line is somewhere, or the spread's somewhere between 2 and 2.5, depending on where you check. And the spread is either 36.5 or 37. I got nothing.
I got nothing either. I might just go hammer the under at 36.5. This is going to be a pretty defensive game, and if the Browns are gonna, the defense for the Browns is not gonna, they're gonna do very well against Vegas, and the Browns' offense is horrible. So I'm not expecting a lot of points in this game at all. I'm just looking at the under, and hopefully, Vegas can sack Deshaun Watson at least 5 times.
That
Um,
would be pretty nice.
right? Let's see some smashing of Deshaun Watson. But yeah, the under. That's all I got in this.
Okay. I got nothing. Fuck this game. All right. Sunday night. Waiting all day. Buffalo going to Baltimore. Baltimore home favorites. Minus 135 money line on DraftKings. Buffalo road upset. You can get plus 1.